"You're too stupid to run this company," my stepdad roared, shoving me against the wall before throwing my termination papers at me. "Your father would be ashamed of you," he sneered. Little did he know I had already gathered the evidence and was about to send him straight to prison. It was my first year as CFO at the company my father had built from the ground up. We worked in the tech sector, providing solutions for energy companies. My father had raised me in the world of finance, and I was ready to carry on his legacy. But after he passed away, my mother remarried, and my stepfather quickly gained control of the board, eventually becoming CEO. I stayed in the company, but I felt like an outsider. He constantly told me I wasn't experienced enough, interfered with my work, and gave me unwanted advice. I knew he wanted me out of the business that was supposed to be mine. Then one day, I discovered something strange in the financial reports. A licensing software purchase was way overpriced, $500,000, much more than usual. I asked the department about it and they said it must be a mistake. But then I found more of these mistakes, huge overcharges for maintenance, unauthorized equipment purchases. This wasn't random. I was sure my stepfather was behind it, but I needed proof. I started investigating. One night I was reviewing expenses for partner programs when I froze. Over $2 million had been paid, but there was no real supplier. This wasn't just fraud. It was an attack on the company. I confronted my stepfather. He looked at me with a smug expression. "You're too young. You don't understand how things work," he said, acting like he was untouchable. "This company is on the edge of disaster," I argued, trying to stay calm. "You don't need to worry about that. I was going to fire you anyway. You're too naive to understand business and too weak to fight me, son." His words cut like a knife. But this wasn't over. This company was all I had left of my father. I wouldn't lose it. I wouldn't lose my father all over again. That night, I called my mom. When I told her about my stepfather's fraud, she went silent.
"You must be mistaken.
She finally said.
That can't be true. He's a good man."
I almost threw my phone at the wall. A good man? My mother had no idea who he really was. I gathered all the documents, checked every detail, and took him to court. Every number, every mistake, every missing million. It was all in black and white. I hired a top lawyer. I had noticed that many employees, especially in the legal department, knew about my stepfather's schemes. I needed someone independent, someone I could trust. I couldn't afford to fail. The trial was brutal. His lawyers were aggressive, and he fought back with everything he had. These are baseless accusations. There's no proof of fraud. But I had everything. My evidence was rock solid. Every step of his fraud was documented in detail. Finally, after days of intense courtroom battles, the judge made a decision. My stepfather was found guilty of fraud. I won. This wasn't just about money. It was about justice. And I know my father would be proud of me.